everybody, and welcome to another edition of Top Rope TV. I'm the man with the news and the views, Ken Stryker. And this week, the newsroom has been booming. News has been coming across the board, left, right, up, down, all over the place. So we're going to jump right in, and then we're going to get to our matches of the week. That's right, I said plural, matches. And it's going to be Madness taking on Tony Badlands from Top Rope Wrestling from a few years ago from our first season. And then in CCW action, the debuting Shango will take on indie favorite Goat Boy. But let's get right down to the news. Like I said, it's been booming all week. First, at Friday's WWE live event at Madison Square Garden, AJ Styles defeated Kevin Owens for the United States Championship. Now, this was huge because of the fact that WWE does not usually let their titles change hands at any house shows. So there has to be a big story behind this, and probably taking us all the way to SummerSlam. But it isn't uncommon for WWE to let a title change hands at a house show. It's happened quite a few times. In fact, I had to actually look up a few. I used my memory and backcheck. But Bob Backlund lost the WWE Championship to Big Daddy Cool Diesel at Madison Square Garden in November of 1994. Edge defeated Jeff Jarrett, who Edge was subbing for Ken Shamrock in 1998 in Toronto for the Intercontinental Championship. In 2012, Epico and Primo defeated Airboom, who was Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston, for the tag team titles back in 2012. And then just last year, Samoa Joe defeated Finn Balor for the NXT Championship at an NXT house show. So it's not uncommon, but it is still a very special occasion when a title changes hands at a house show. More news coming out of WWE is that WWE has come to the terms of the release of Austin Aries, which was a huge shocker, since he's only been with the WWE not that long ago, had his big WrestleMania moment against Neville. Now, there's conflicting stories coming around that it's due to injuries that Austin wanted to take time off to heal. And then there's other stories saying that he had a really bad attitude and this helped negotiate the term contract end. Another shocking thing is that WWE has former TNA owner Dixie Carter appearing on Kurt Angle's WWE 24. And she will be giving an in-depth interview on her relationship with Kurt. So it's pretty big that she's going to be on WWE television. In Mexico, on April 5th, Global Force Wrestling star DJZ suffered massive internal injuries after taking a very bad 450 splash in a match down in Mexico. Now, he had to undergo surgery to stop the internal bleeding, but just a few days ago, Eddie Edwards, who is a very close friend of DJC, said that he's already taken indie bookings and he should be back at Global Force Wrestling tapings within the next couple of months. So, hopefully, DJZ, one of my personal favorites in the X division, hopefully we'll see you soon, buddy. And unfortunately, I'm sorry, folks, I do not have a 10-belt salute. But the indie scene was actually very, very saddened to learn that Diane Von Hoffman, whose real name was Phyllis Birch, who other fans would know as Moondog Fifi, passed away from complications of surgery. We here at Top Rope TV offer our deepest condolences to her family and to her fans And hopefully she went easy and was in no pain. Well, I hate to end it on a somber note, but we're going to take a break right now, and when you come back, you'll have just saw the ending to Madness versus Tony Badlands, and it is hard-hitting. So, take a look.
Wrong, Tony. And it wasn't so long ago. Hello? Tony? Tony?
Ladies and gentlemen, near you. And also, I can see you. Madness. This should be interesting. Alright, the bell sounds. They circle the ring. There's a lockup. Oh, I need a gun. Big forearm. Big head. Badlands goes down. Badlands picks him up. Irish, no, he says no. Big chop. No. Irish moving to the corner, man is back up. Big splash. Badlands goes down. Badlands getting up. Will he come back from that devastating splash? Good night, it's a sleeper hold! You're gonna kill us! Your winner by submission, Madness!
I think it is. But I just want you to know that it's wrong, Tony. And it wasn't so long ago. Hello? Tony? Tony? The fallen have fallen! Good night!
1,
Wow, what a match right there. Madness picking up the victory by submission, hitting that Cobra Clutch. Wow, that had to be an upsetting for Tony Badland and the Fallen at that night. But let's get back to some more news and views. Former TNA Knockout Velvet Sky has officially announced her retirement. On WNPR Connecticut, the two-time TNA Knockouts champion decided to return to college as well as train at a wrestling school in Danbury, Connecticut. Right now, she's at Post University studying to be a professional personal trainer. Some sad news coming out of Global Force Wrestling. At Slammiversary, James Storm suffered a grade 3 concussion after his head was pulled into the ring post during his final moments in his match against EC3. It is said that the ending was rushed, but it's unclear if this is storyline or if it really is happening. But this could be a career-ending injury if it is indeed a grade 3. Now, Cowboy, I'm a huge fan. I've been a fan since your America's Most Wanted days. I hope that this is storyline or that you recover fast, because it would be sad to see you end your career this way. Randy Orton is set to take off for a few weeks. He's going to Thailand to film his role in the new Seth Green directed movie Changeland. Orton will be back in time for the July 18th SmackDown, which will be the go-home show before Battleground. Now we go to a lesson in pettiness, ladies and gentlemen. Alberto El Patron trashed the WWE following his match at Slammiversary against Bobby Lashley. El Patron has made it known that he will never hold any words or feelings back when it comes to his former company. According to a report from Wrestling Inc., El Patron was prepared to do the same thing following last GFW Impact TV tapings. El Patron grabs a mic for a shoot. He says it's that time of the night when he talks about the company in Stamford. His attorney, however, called him last night and asked him, "What are you thinking?" as he recently lost enough money from his most recent divorce. At that point, production cut the mic and played his music. El Patron shouted over the music saying he has enough voice to scream. His music got played louder, and eventually he got the hint and gave up. So, ladies and gentlemen, the petty Alberto El Patron. But that's just my point of view. Now, this is some really sad news, and I feel very bad for her. She may not have a great WrestleMania moment, but Maria Menounos, longtime friend to the WWE, has stepped down from her role at E! News to deal with her treatment from a brain tumor removal. We here at Top Rope wish her all the best. And this is a very serious situation, so Maria, we hope you get well soon and you beat this. But we're going to take a different route right now and head to Hollywood as Charlotte Flair prepares for her very first acting debut. And I'm quite excited about this because this was my favorite TV show, Psych. She's going to play the sidekick to the villain, Thin White Duke, played by Zachary Levi. And the movie, Psych the Movie, will be on the USA Network this December, just in time for Christmas. Hey Santa! Hint! Hint! My luck at Santa Madness. Now, let's go on to some criticism here, and I saw the performance. He did absolutely well, but D'Angelo Williams shocked the world by putting on what many people are calling the performance of the night at Slammiversary. In spite of his limited training, now his tag team partner from Slammiversary, the Global Force Wrestling Grand Champion, Moose, took to Twitter and said it only took Williams 3 days to prepare for their match. You know, with this, as far as he's come in his training, and the fact that he got ready for this match in 3 days is quite impressive. So, I'm looking at a pretty bright future from Mr. Williams. Now, history was made at IWGP's G1 special in Japan. Kenny Omega became the very first IWGP United States champion. The new title is part of an American expansion plan, which New Japan Pro Wrestling had made public in the months prior to the announcement. Plans had been made to run extended tours across the U.S. with California as the base, starting in 2018. The plan was a direct response to WWE taking 4 wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling in January 2016. So, it looks like New Japan Pro Wrestling is going to not go quietly into the darkness, as they say. Speaking of titles, WWE United Kingdom Champion Pete Dunne will defend his title at a non-WWE event. He's going to defend his title at ICW in Scotland's Shug's House Party, night number 1. Now, there's no announcement on who his opponent will be, but 205 Live's Noam Dar and WWE Hall of Famer Kevin Nash are scheduled to be there. Now, WWE and ICW have had a relationship in the past. Mick Foley was their commissioner at one time while he was the Raw commissioner, and just earlier this year, while recovering from his injuries, Finn Balor showed up at one of their big events as a special guest enforcer. So, don't be surprised if WWE actually sends somebody more, or even Noam Dar taking on Pete Dunne. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our second match of the night. It is CCW action as Shango makes his in-ring debut against an indie favorite, Goat Boy. What an ending. Shango picking up the victory over Goat Boy. And I got to call that an upset because Goat Boy has been on the indie scene for a long time. And for him to lose out to a newcomer, that's quite shocking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of the show where we end things for the week. And we promise you we will bring you more up-to-date news next week. But I'd like to take a personal moment. Season 6 is a really big season here for Top Rope TV. And we have a lot more in store for you. One of the biggest things that we got coming are special exclusives from the Fence Man in a little segment we're going to call Fence Man's Exclusives. So he's going to get you some great interviews in the world of professional wrestling. So, as the boss man, Johnny Logan would say, keep your wrestling in a headlock. And we'll see you next week.